We are just 1 week away from the 2024 NFL Draft and hearing these chimes a lot of times. And a debate has been raging on Jets Twitter. Brock Bowers, offensive tackle, wide receiver. Brock Bowers, offensive tackle. What does it all mean? Well, there's a new flavor in this mix that we're going to discuss here on the show. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Zoinks! And it is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field Gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor Gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
What is frickin' poppin', everybody? 1 week from the NFL Draft, my favorite time of the year. I frickin' love it. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts in the audio-only version. My name is Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green, which is a nickname I got in radio. And welcome to the show here on a Thursday, April 18th. The NFL Draft 2024 in Detroit starts a week from today, 7 friggin' days. And again, we're going to hear a lot more of this. Hit my music. That sounds very nice. And we're going to get into it. So we've been bashing our brains against a wall about this Brock Bowers debate, this, or this. And sure, we can have that comment today because this is a show by the people for the people. So if you get your comments going wherever you are, we're on the Heavy on Jets Facebook page. Shout out to our heavy overlords for supporting the show. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25 and Twitter @BoyGreen25 as well. Feel free to get those comments going. We love interacting throughout the program. Plus, of course, the Boy Green Super Fan Club. That's open, baby. We got over 20 members. We love it. Keep them coming. It's that little money sign. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join Boy Green Super Fan Club and join the party. Join the party, baby. Excuse me. I got so jostled there. I threw out my own mic. That's impressive. Okay. And I wanted to highlight this comment from Avatal. So for people who don't know, it's funny that some people don't know my other worlds. And it's this. Like, I have a YouTube community. We have a Twitter community. We have an Instagram community. We have a community that supports my articles. I write multiple Jets articles every day. And Avatal, who joins in on YouTube, says, love how you gave shout-outs to Connor, Matt, and Dom in your latest heavy piece, BG. Major props. One final comment. Please get OBJ off the screen. He is done. We'll get into that. But I love giving credit where credit's due. And I love to, cross-pollinate. And it's cool to be able to cross-pollinate and give shout-outs to like Matt and Dom who've joined my show, and like shout-outs to our Boy Green Daily audience, plus like things Connor have said or whoever. It's really cool. So it's awesome. So I hope I could do that even more because I really want to keep it all together. But here's the question that we're raising for today's show. It's not about Brock Bowers versus this. It's a deeper conversation. It was brought up, so shout out to the Badlands and TOJ family as a whole, that entire brand over there. They created an interesting conversation that I turned into a poll. Let's start off with person number one, because you brought him up, Avatal, Connor Rogers. Okay? So Connor Rogers told Joe Caporoso on War Room, the best subscription-based Jets podcast in the universe. Go ahead, guys, and check it out. You got to pay a little coin, but you get a lot of cool stuff with it. Connor Rogers draft guide and things of that nature. He told Joe Caporoso, which, by the way, Joe Caporoso actually joins us next week. Got that in the schedule. Can't wait for that. But again, Connor Rogers told Joe Caporoso on War Room, if the Jets take Brock Bowers, here's his quote, it feels like a guarantee that they're signing David Bakhtiari this summer. Okay. Now that's interesting. So put that in one pocket. Okay. Pocket number 2 was this. Rich Cimini of ESPN told Will Parkinson that if NYJ takes an offensive tackle at pick 10 overall, he doesn't think the team turns around and signs another veteran OT. He basically said how many offensive tackles you're going to have, because you would have Tyron Smith, you would have Morgan Moses, you would have that rookie, you would have Carter Warren, you'd have this, you'd have that, you'd have this, Max Mitchell, blah, 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 blah. And he says, like, how many are you going to have? If you draft one at 10, the veteran's off the table. So I raised it to a poll to the people because I think it's a fascinating. Now the debate goes to a different level. It's no longer Brock Bowers versus rookie offensive tackle. No. Now it expands out because of what Avital said with the video. Depending on what the Jets do, let's keep it Brock Bowers. Although in my poll, it is Bowers and Bakhtiari as a pair, or first round offensive tackle and insert wide receiver. And I say insert wide receiver because I think, and we will actually ask this to our draft expert. I'm back on live at 3:00. I believe it's Brock Bowers or bust at tight end. I don't think the Jets are just taking some random ass tight end in the mid rounds. Maybe I'll be surprised. Who knows? They've actually met with a lot of tight ends this offseason. But anywho, so I think it's Brock Bowers or bust in terms of tight end for the Jets. So then Bowers, Bakhtiari. In the second pool that we've discussed, that is first round offensive tackle or insert wide receiver, you only have limited characters that you can say in a poll option, but the rookie offensive tackle would be, of course, the 10th overall pick as the other option. And then insert wide receiver could be one of multiple things. It could be pick 72, because obviously if you use pick 10 on an offensive tackle, you can't use pick 10 also on a wide receiver. So is it wide receiver pick 72? Is it a veteran? Do you combine veteran and 72? Is it one or the other? I don't know. So all of a sudden, your options change, though. So do you want Bowers, Bakhtiari? You get the tight end, and then you get your sixth man, that offensive tackle in free agency. Let's say Dave Bakhtiari, as Connor Rogers predicts, in that guarantee in that situation. Or you go to the other pool that we're just talking about, and you get your top 10 tackle, whoever the hell that is, and then you get your insert guy. Again, it can be pick 72, could be Odell Beckham Jr., it could be MVS, it could be Tyler Boyd, it could be anybody really that's available. So I'll throw it out to you people, because we have 1,200 votes. So I've got the Twitter poll results that I'll be sharing here shortly, but I'm curious in the chat, which would you prefer? You have two choices. Bowers, Bakhtiari as a combo, or first round offensive tackle and insert wide receiver. Again, insert wide receiver, I can't fit enough characters, but that's basically pick 72. And I continued the thread, so hopefully people who voted saw that thread option, so they can kind of, it's like one of those Goosebumps stories, pick your own ending. You guys can pick who the wide receiver is within reason. Jared B says 7 days until the NFL draft. Can't wait. Bart Scott, one more time. I can't wait either. It's a lot of fun. It's a heck of a lot of fun. Absolutely. I love it. I love talking about the fans during it. I love everything. All right, let's see. Good morning, everybody. Morning, gents. 1 week to go. John Sauer, welcome, everybody. 1 week, thank goodness. I know some people are tired of the conversation. Jet fans, 1 week warning. That could be another way. Kevin Bracco says, with the 10th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, the New York Jets select Paul Austin Jr. Whoa, baby, please. I would love to announce a draft pick. That is on my bucket list. We'll see if that ever happens. I don't know how you get into that position, but I will explore it. Jets Afterburner podcast. Being on injured reserve right now, my left leg in a cast car accident. Good Lord. I'm truly enjoying this show, brother. Well, hopefully you heal up, man. That's scary. I've been in, how many accidents? My worst one, actually, it might be my only one, but that I can remember right now. Oh, no, I'm not. Never mind. That's not the only one. Someone hit me in Syracuse too. But the one that was my fault, I was going to my college. I went to a college first, a community college, kind of like worked and earned my way up. Then I transferred. I went to Cayuga Community College, and I was like a week out from graduation, and I was being a young, dumb idiot, and I'm driving, and it's a 55, and the person in front of me is going like, I don't know, 40, and I'm getting pissed. And I was in no rush, but I'm getting pissed. I'm like, dude, like, let's go. You know, it's us going this way, cars coming this way. That's it. And I'm just riding behind this guy. And I'm like, golly, he's going so far under the speed limit. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. At the next opportunity, when we get those kind of breaks in the line where you're legally allowed to jump into the other lane and pedal to the metal, I'm like, I'm going to pass this guy. And I thought I had the right opportunity. So it's me and car in front of me. What Boy Green didn't know was there was a car in front of that car, which may be the reason why this guy was going so slow. So I jump from this lane to this lane and go pedal to the metal because I don't want to be in that lane for a long time. In my brain, I'm like, I want to quickly get out of this lane because oncoming traffic's coming, perhaps eventually. And when I hit the pedal to the metal, lo and behold, the car that was in front of the slow car was turning left, and I'm like, oh, is what happened. And I swerve the wheel and I fly into a ditch. My car goes crazy, flips a little, and then they had to use the jaws of life to peel me from that vehicle. So, not good. And I was an idiot. And somehow I survived. The car caved in around me. I could have died right there. And I battled for a long time. They call it survivor's guilt, but like no one else died. But this guilt of like, oh boy, I made this horrible decision. And someone could have gotten seriously hurt. So yeah, that happened. That was a rough moment for a while, and I came out basically unscathed. So the gods are looking down upon me. I just had whiplash. The wires. All right, sorry about that, everybody. The wire's jumpy today. Anywho, so I came out basically unscathed. So thank goodness. But hopefully you're resting up, Jets Afterburners. Yes, my father says, again, for people who enjoy my Hop on Pop, my father's exploits doing that show, that will be a special Friday episode. Today's Thursday. Friday is when my father will be joining us. And apparently we'll be talking about my drinking exploits. Oh, boy. That should be a doozy of a show. Yes, as Darren says, hit the like button and subscribe, people. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Please do. Zebo, the Jet fan, says, Paul, you're helping me drive myself out of bed for work once again. I love it. Hey, if I can be that for you, I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. The Jets Afterburners podcast says Minnesota Denver Raiders are all looking for a trade partner. They all love Penix. Joe Douglas will get a haul at 10 and still wind up with Bowers or Fatanu. Yeah, boy, the Jets are really hoping that's true because after the Jets are 3 quarterback needy teams. The only potential problem is I could see the Raiders going offensive tackle. That's a need I hear from their camp. And Minnesota could go weird. Denver could go weird. I don't know. We just got to hope that's because it doesn't seem like one of the big 4 are going to be there. So you have to hope for 5 or 6, which of course would be Penix or Nix. You better hope for that if you're at 10. So the Jets are in the front of the conga line at quarterback. That would be wonderful if that happens. That would be wonderful. Sergeant CBO says Bowers Bach is the safe route. Okay, I like that. Yeah, because yeah, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, a lot of Bowers Bakhtiari votes. Okay. Shadow Realm joins us, part of our Boy Green Super Fan Club. A 6-man offensive lineman playing just 5 or 6 games would be more valuable than Bowers playing all 17. That's interesting. Phil says, I love that draft jingle. I tried to get it forever because I was an idiot as a kid. I was trying to get that as my text thing because I'm like, man, I will die with that chime. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Ooh, Jerby, who's the biggest draft steal the Jets ever had? The biggest draft steal the Jets ever had. Well, this is super prisoner of the moment, obviously, but 2022, this is definitely prisoner of the moment. But 2022, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that the Jets got Sauce and Garrett, and they weren't even the first at their position. So to get second fiddle twice in the top 10, to get Sauce, what Derek Stingley won a pick before, to get Garrett Wilson and Drake London won a few picks before, that's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of big draft steals. Who's the guy? Trying Trying to think of positions. Maybe that'll help. Wow, this is a good question. For draft steal. Revis, trading up for Revis that year. What was that, 2007? That's up there. Mangold, end of the first round in 2006, ends up being a stud for the Jets forever. That one would be up there for sure. Well, Mangold at 30, pick 30 or pick 29, whichever that was. Revis, he'd be up there. I'm trying to think of other pillars in history. Yeah, but it was something like that. Also, another steal. It's not draft related, but Curtis Martin, the poison pill steal. That's another one. Thank you, New England, you bastards. So yeah, that'd be up there. Peter Campisi. I heard Rodgers is a godfather of one of Bakhtiari's children. No, I didn't know that. That would seem they are very tight. So this is believable. Yeah, they're best friends. The only part that I'm not sure is that all made sense before Tyron Smith signed because, like, Bakhtiari would, in theory, have a chance to compete with a Carter Warren or whoever that guy was. Now with Tyron, that's not a competition. So I wonder if Bach's like, nah, I don't want to come to that situation. So that'll have to take some convincing. Johnny says, Boy Green, did you see our guy Bobby Midnight called WFAN and talked about Knoble? It sounds funny, but no, I did not. That's awesome. Sergeant CBO says you either had to be a Make-A-Wish kid or save Woody's dog from a car accident. Okay, well, it's good to know what the list is, I guess. Damn, what kind of car? That's a good question. What kind of car was it? It was one I got from my father's friend. I remember that. I don't remember what the car was. I had a lot of beaters over the years for a while. Just paying a couple hundred bucks for a car, and then just trying to ride as many of them out before I got my latest car, which is a 2018 Toyota Corolla. I got that not brand new, but it had like 20,000 miles or something, 25,000 miles maybe when I got it. So, all right, more on that in just a second. I saw we just got a YouTube super chat in. Ed Vargas, wowza. Okay, coming over the top rope, a member of the Boy Green Super Fan Club with happy birthday, my friend. All the best to you and your family. Yes, my birthday is in 8 days for those counting. I hear a lot of people counting for the draft. Counting for the birthday, it is April 26th, so it'll be day 2 of the NFL draft. Right now, the only pick for the Jets is pick 72. Ed, that means a lot. Thank you so much. Some of these super chats, cool. I can put it towards perhaps diving in. I have not touched any of the Jets new merch. So yeah, any super chats, I guess I'll put in a separate birthday fund to potentially get any new Jets merch. I've not dipped my toe in those waters yet. It's got a lot of taxes and family and all this other stuff, but this could be a special fund. So thank you so much, Ed. That's awesome. So yeah, my birthday is always around the draft. And maybe that's part of the reason why I'm so in love with it. And plus, being a Jets fan, the Jets and the draft have been like, salt and pepper, yin and yang, mac and cheese forever. So, for those two things, they're basically synonymous with one another. So my birthday every year is celebrating the draft, watching the draft. I don't do like a birthday party or anything like that. I just focus in on the draft, and that's basically what I tell. My fiance may say, I don't know. I'm like, if you guys could just get me something really nice to eat on draft day, that'd be cool. So yeah, I'm a very simple man. Not a big party guy. Although my dad may tell you different with the alcohol tomorrow, but yeah. Ed, thank you so much, man. That's so cool. That's very, very, that hits me. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Ed, been a longtime supporter of the show, brother. So thank you very much. All right, let me go back up wherever we were. Biggest draft steal. Yeah. I gotta think about that one some more. I'm gonna have to think about some of my favorite mid-round guys. Jericho Cotchery, what was he? My brain says a 4th round pick, but I can't remember exactly. I'm gonna look that one up real quick. What was old Jericho Cotchery? Who follows me on Twitter? He's a very nice guy. What was he? He was a fourth round pick. Nailed it. Okay, so Jericho Catcher would be up there. He's one of my favorite Jets of all time. But yeah, that'd be a good one. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, so we have Coach Edge on Twitter. Okay, I love all the interactions. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Keep them coming, guys. We've got over 400 people in the room. All right, if alt, go offensive tackle first, wide receiver free agency. If not alt, you go a Dunze, offensive tackle free agency. If not alt or Dunze, then Bowers. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of like that breakdown. Again, I'd be very intrigued by alt for obvious reasons. I like Odunze a lot. And Bowers isn't bad. All of those options sound great. And I think that's the position Jet fans should truly revel in. That all these are great. It's not like, oh, God, we got to pick Joe Alt or, Odunze or Bowers. No, come on. There's none of that. So that's exciting to me. So, yeah, Coach. Well said, sir. Well said, Coach. Put me in, Coach. Thighs, I smell a trade back. Yeah. I have another trade thing we'll react to. It'll be somewhere over the weekend now because my dad's off the weekend. I don't have anyone for the weekend. So, yeah, we'll probably do another Jets trade back. So we'll explore that. Peter Campese, ratings are up when your dad is on. Way cool. And again, I told him this personally. I've told him it privately. I said it publicly. It's really cool to be able to do a show with your dad. Plain and simple. First off, some people's fathers aren't that into sports, so that would end a potential sports show right off the get-go, obviously. And some people, like, I could be doing construction right now. I could be in the Army. I could be anywhere. And there'd be no possibility for this thing me and my dad get to do every week. So it is not lost on me that I am very lucky to be able to do this gig, sports talk radio, this show, Jets coverage, interviews, all kinds of stuff. I am humbled to be in this position to do this, and it's never going to get lost on me. I pinch myself every day that I get to do this, but specifically to do it with my dad. These are shows I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life, the opportunity to do these. So they're a lot of fun. But thank you, Peter. I'm glad you guys embraced him. A lot of people hated him at first, hated him so much that I didn't ever consider it. But my dad said, hey, if you're catching too much heat for this, I'll stop doing it. I'm like, what? Heck no. If people don't like it, kick rocks, pal. If that's the reason people unsubscribe from the show, okay. Didn't watch you. Because it's one show a week. I do shows every day, sometimes multiple. Like today, I do multiple shows a day. So, yeah, man, it's an honor. Avatar, don't draft a tight end until 2025. Luke Lackey from Tight End U. Okay, I will keep that in mind. They may need to because Conklin's a free agent after the year. Let's see. Who else we got? Kenny Yeboah's a free agent after the year. Kuntz, I don't think he's on his his 7th round contract because he got cut and brought back. So I don't know what his contract status is. So yeah, there's reason to do it, I suppose. Darren, Conklin over Bowers, way underrated. I don't think that's true at all, to be honest. That Conklin's better than Bowers. But I will say this. I love Conklin a lot. You're not going to find a Jets person that loves Conklin more than me. He's been on my show 100 times. He's been a super nice guy. I've promoted his charity before. He's just been a cool-ass dude to me for as long as he's been a Jet. So I would love Conklin forever. He's a really good possession guy. But he's solid. I think that's how Avatar or someone else described him before. He's solid, which is good. You can survive with solid. Conklin solid, Rucker upside, but there's not much proven there. So you can survive with the room. So the Jets can choose to survive and go Odunze or insert offensive tackle your choice. They could do that. But I don't think Conklin's better than Bowers or like what Bowers can be. Like Bowers just brings different things to the table. Tyler Conklin isn't breaking 100 tackles like Bowers. Conklin ain't lining up in the backfield, but he's a solid possession guy. Ricky in New York. Lavernius Coles, where we got him. Ooh, was that 3rd, 4th round? What was that for Lavernius? So I nailed it on Jericho Cotchery. Let me see for this on Lavernius. I'm going to say 3rd round. I don't know if that's true. All right, let's look this up. Third round. Oh, I'm doing like a trivia contest, baby. I'm kicking ass right now. Lavernius Coles was a third round pick. He was the 78th overall pick. People forget the 2000 NFL draft. That's right. On top of all the first round picks, Lavernius Coles, baby. And Brees, of course, obviously in the second round. Yeah, there's still more story to tell for Brees Hall, but okay, I've been kicking ass in this random draft trivia. I like it. Nice. Avatar. Latest rumor I've heard, Boy Green. Saints trade 14 in its second round of the Bears to at 9 to jump the Jets and draft Olu Fashano. I totally believe that. Trevor Penning has been terrible. Ryan Ramczyk, their other offensive tackle, his entire future is in question. He could retire, quite frankly. This could be his last year of football if he even plays this year. So the Saints are desperate for offensive tackle help, and i.e., if everyone knows the Jets are taking offensive tackle, which isn't as clear this year, to get that last true left tackle. I totally buy that. If we're playing buy or sell, I buy that Avatar. That's a totally legit rumor, which in theory, if that happens, playing the math bingo, you have 4 quarterbacks, you have Olu, you have Joe Alt, that's 6, and then you have 3 receivers. So if all the 3 receivers go, then okay, it's basically null and void. But what if Dallas Turner goes to the Falcons? That means one of the big 3 receivers would be there. All of a sudden we play that math, baby. There we go. All of a sudden we're mathing. We are mathing. Frank Schultz is Chad Pennington. I didn't know that one off the top of my head. He was the 18th overall pick in the first round under Marshall in the year 2000. So Pennington would be up there. But the same draft as Tom Brady, that will get lost. Tom Brady picked 199 in that same draft. He probably won't get the same love. Although he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history. I think Drew Brees has topped him since on the career completion percentage, but Chad held it for a while. Yeah, he deserves to be there. Jets stole Jermaine. Again, Jermaine's story is still to be written. So that's good. Yes. Matthias, Namath, yeah, I think, wasn't Namath the first overall pick in the AFL draft? Let me see if that's true. And I can't remember. Let me see. Oh, I hope my draft history continues here. What was it? Yes, he was the number 1 overall pick in the AFL draft, baby. That's even harder. 12th overall pick in the NFL draft, and he picks the Jets. Booyah. Okay, the streak continues. I'm still alive. Very nice. Johnny had a bunch. Nick Mangold, the 2000s draft, which was, so let's see if we could get the 4, right? So we had Chad Pennington, we had Anthony Becht, we had Sean Ellis and John Abraham. Boom. Boop, 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 boop. There's your guys. And then Lavernius Cole picked in the 3rd round. Very nice. John Shower. As long as we don't go defense in round 1 and 2nd, I trust JD to make the right call. I assume he knows more than me. Yeah, I assume he knows more than me too. Probably. But yes, I can't make any argument for defense, quite frankly. Even if all the defenders are on the board, I still can't. Like, you're good, man. Woody Johnson, offense. He would go crazy if the Jets didn't go offense. And I think a lot of us would too. Again, it's hard to understand that. Now, in the second, maybe, if you trade back and somehow get Chris Jenkins, that'd be a fun legacy story. Like, that'd be cool. But mostly it should be offense. Let's see here. Thanks again to Ed Vargas for this massive YouTube super chat. That's so nice. Thank you so much. And thank you. All right. Let's go. We got Lawrence Yance on YouTube. Lots of people saying Alan Lazard will be better with Rodgers. Cool. What about making millions of dollars while giving up on the team last year and penalties that took away touchdowns and better? Does that mean? What does better mean? So, like, he was terrible last year. I don't think there's any other way around it. I mean, god awful. There was a moment where Saleh, who refuses to hold players accountable in the media, and I don't mean that I mean that in the way that it is said. He doesn't like ripping people on the sidelines publicly or things of that nature. And for him to go out of his way after the Black Friday game to question whether or not Alan Lazard still had his edge. And I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, excuse me, what was that? And then like, hey, we could get out of his contract like a year and a half. I'm like, did he just say what everyone was thinking? Is a coach supposed to say that? Like, he was saying all kinds of things publicly. I'm like, whoa, healthy scratch for a $44 million free agent because you want to check out your undrafted free agents? That math don't math, man. So is he going to be better? I think inevitably he's going to be better. He can't be worse. And Rodgers high tide should lift all boats in theory. So no, I think Lazard will be better, but I'm not counting on him like currently. The wide receiver pecking order is as follows: Garrett Wilson, okay, no debate there. Mike Williams, all right, and then Alan Lazard. That's your three right now. Some people might put Xavier Gibson as that starting slot, whatever. You can do it however you want, but Lazard right now is that high. Saleh said that Mike Williams has, quote unquote, a long way to go, which means Lazard is your quasi wide receiver 2 right now, which is why wide receiver is such an important need for me. Plus, Mike Williams only signed to a 1-year deal. Is this it? Is this a one and done and they go somewhere else? Possibly. So I'd consider that too. T. Rivera says Michael Carter. I'm assuming you're talking about the slot corner, a 5th rounder out of Duke. And maybe Joe Douglas's best pick. That's what Rich Cimini told Will Parkinson, and he might be right. Mm-hmm. Zebo, David Hitman Harris, baby. Yes. One of my favorites. We had David Harris, and then we had a long run of second-round disasters. Stephen Hills, Devin Smith, go through the laundry list of terrible second-round picks. But David Hitman Harris, I hate how his run ended with the Jets, and they did him dirty and threw him in the streets in the middle of the summer. That's not how you handle one of your future Ring of Honor level member players. I did not like that. But, ultimately, as a fan, you have to pick what side you're on. Are you on the Shield, like the team, or the player? Like Thomas Jones. He's another guy. He was one of my first big interviews I've ever had in my career. And he promised to do like 5 minutes with me. He did an hour. Or he promised to do like 10 minutes maybe. He did an hour. And his phone kept breaking up. We kept calling back, and we put all the pieces together, and it was an hour interview. And Thomas, he had a $5 million roster bonus due to him after perhaps the most productive 3-year run for any Jets running back in history. To have that back-to-back was spectacular, those numbers. And the Jets said, man, that $5 million, it's not a lifetime achievement award. See you, pal. They dump him, and he ends up never doing anything again. So I guess the Jets were right, but oof, that hurts. Darren, Dad said the draft hit yet? No idea, Darren. That's a good question. But that's kind of his gift to me every year normally, is like something around the draft, like a draft hat, shirt combo, things of that nature. But yeah, there's a lot of cool Jets new hats out there. I need to get it. I don't have any of the new brand or old brand, however you want to describe it. The JETS with the trailing J, that helmet over my right shoulder. I don't have any hats apparently on the wall of that outside of flat brims. And even the flat brims, I don't think I have it either. So yeah, I gotta join the party. There you go. That's a great one, NC. Klecko has to be their Hall of Famer 6th round as a steal. And the rounds back then were like 1,000 rounds. That's another good point. The Freedom House, 1984. I hope we have enough talent that Lazard never sees the field. Please. I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Lewis here. Who does Boy Green want the Jets to draft for his birthday? Well, I would say right now on draft day, I'll tweet out my 3 thing. I've been doing that the last couple of years. Like the 3 players on my big board. Last year was like Kalijah Cansey, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Peter Skoronski. That was my 3 last year. I wanted one of those 3. I didn't get one. This year, I would say, if I had to do my 3 right now, gun to my head, not really thinking about it, Roma Dunze. Joe Alt, Malik Neighbors, or not Malik Neighbors, excuse me, Marvin Harrison Jr. My brain just malfunctioned there. Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Dunze, Joe Alt. Some of those may be unrealistic, but that's who I want right now for my birthday. One of those 3. Brock Bowers would be fun, but he didn't. I only had a choice of 3 that I made up the rules for myself. But one of those would be awesome. Charles, yeah. I spoke about the way how it ended for David Harris. What about Jerko Cotchery, baby? Yeah, and that's another awesome interview. If you guys go back in the Boy Green history, if you just type in Jerko Cotchery, Boy Green in YouTube, it should pop up. But I got to interview him. Oh, God. I'm going to mess up dates now, especially with COVID. A year or 2 ago, something like that. He reached out to me. he came back to the Jets facilities because they were watching some documentary, some One Jets Drive thing, and we somehow connected our dots. I'm like, Jericho, you're like one of the greatest Jets of all time. Can we do an interview? We did an interview, and I flipped up film, like the limping Browns catch where he's like hurt, and they like one hand grabs it. I showed him that and all kinds of cool plays from his career. That was such a cool, and it's great with the technology to be able to show players film and tape. Like Garrett Wilson showed me the crazy Buffalo catch. I'm like, what was going through your brain when that ball came over? So it's really cool to get the film aspect in there, which is awesome. Quincy Enunwa. Yeah, that entire draft was terrible. That's the IDSIC 12. Back in 2014. Quincy Enunwa was a 6th-round pick. I wish he didn't get hurt either. Quincy, another awesome. I love that guy. I love Quincy. I got to get him on the show. For sure. He's one that I have to get on the show. Freedom House says we should double dip at wide receiver in this draft. It wouldn't be a bad play. This wide receiver class is awesome. So yeah. Double dip, sure. And then you avoid the veteran market entirely and get cheap labor. So that could make sense. Where are you watching Draft Day? This may be to someone else, but I'll just say the movie Draft Day. I'm trying to think of where I can watch it because I've got Boy Green Daily in the morning. I've got my radio show at 10. I've got the Boy Green Meets Woody at 3. And then all my normal Jets draft work that I have. So I might have to get up ass early, like 6 a.m. to watch Draft Day. Although normally I kind of watch it in the middle of the day, but it's hard now because I like cover the Jets. So like when breaking Jet stories are coming in, I have to like stop the movie before because it was when Aaron Rodgers, Adam Schefter story broke a couple years ago. I was in the middle of draft day. I'm like, son of a, and I had to run over. Oh my goodness. And then Dan Orlovsky says on air, the Jets need to go get Aaron Rodgers. And I'm like, the Jets, oh Jesus. So I had to run over and do that. So I love the old days when I could just be a fan in some respects because like that news would be crazy for me to talk about, but it wouldn't affect like me watching the movie Draft Day. But now because I cover the Jets, I got to run over and write stories and podcasts and everything else, which is fun. But yeah. Phil says it's one of your best shows with your dad. I love it. It's phenomenal. John Sauer says, love the Indy trade back scenario. 15 for 10 and pick up 44 is the perfect move. That is an overpay by the draft value chart, so you better hope that Indy's moving up for something. And the gut says that it is Brock Bowers would be the one that they're hungry for. And if that's true, then okay, maybe it's possible. But who are you moving up for? Like, would Minnesota, who has TJ Hawkinson? No. Would Denver? Maybe. Vegas? No. They have the Notre Dame kid. His name's escaping me. So, no. I wouldn't see that. Michael Mayer. So, they'd only be moving ahead of maybe one team. And then New Orleans ain't taking him. So, yeah. If they're gung-ho about it, or they're afraid someone else could trade up, hopefully, that's an ideal trade back. Sure. Keep it simple, RC. Honestly, Paul, you got me with the Laporta response yesterday. Here's the thing. If teams knew Laporta would be Laporta, he would have been drafted in round 1. Maybe. I guess that's hindsight 2020. Like Tom Brady. If they knew Tom Brady, be picked a little higher. Yeah, I concur. But yeah, so tight end production can happen. Kyle Pitts had 1,000 yards his rookie season, but it didn't aesthetically look like 1,000 yards, if that makes sense. I didn't feel like going through that season like, wow, we are seeing something special here. It seems like he just kind of accumulated and got there randomly. But Laporta's numbers are insane. And again, the other reason I feel really good about Brock Bowers is having Aaron Rodgers. If we didn't have Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to be honest, the perception of everything, Nathaniel Hackett would be weighing more heavily on my mind. Zach Wilson would be weighing more heavily on my mind. Like, boy, can he get the ball to Brock Bowers? Like, boy, maybe we should go in a different position because we can't maximize it. The thought of Aaron Rodgers, to me, believes that we can maximize Brock Bowers. So that's part of it too. Avatar here, very powerful on YouTube. Very cool to do a show with your dad. My dad and I didn't have a relationship for nearly 30 years, and when I was told he passed last year, I really had no emotion. Cherish your time with your dad, and I do. We've had certainly our tiffs, our moments in history where we've been at each other, but overall, our relationship has been very strong, and I hope it stays that way forever. Because you only get one dad. So Avatar, that's a powerful story, and thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that story. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. So I hope all of you guys, again, if your parents are still alive, give them a call right after this show and say I love you, because there's no time like the present. Um, JD has one job: build an offensive line. He has failed to do that. Pick offensive lineman at 10, Andrew Yakos. Well, again, he took an offensive lineman 11th overall, Mekhi Becton. That didn't work. So that's the other thing that we don't see, is that it's not a guarantee that whatever offensive line you pick is going to be a success. No one's a guarantee. Bowers isn't a guarantee. Wide receiver's a guarantee. No one's a guarantee. But that's the thing, that you have to pick the right guy, especially in the offensive line pool, where it seems like everyone's kind of evaluated closely together after all. And some people don't even have alt number one. So yeah, Joe Douglas has got to do. They got to do. The due diligence. Claudio says, is that OBJ's picture in the episode? I sincerely hope the Jets do not sign this player with all this P. Diddy baggage, especially that video circulating on him with Justin Bieber in the club. I missed the Justin Bieber in the club one, but yeah, the point is again, back to, I know people kind of come in and out of the video, and we'll take some callers at the end of the show too, but the OBJ presence being there is the other way to go about it. Like if the Jets go Odunze, they're not getting OBJ, I don't think, or Tyler Boyd or any of those people. But if they go rookie offensive tackle at 1, whoever it is, then at pick 72 and or veterans could enter the equation. I think that's kind of the conversation, perhaps. Let's see. James Fitzpatrick, enjoy your dad. I have season tickets. I'm 59. He's 29. We have gone to almost every game for 25 years. Mostly losses, but the time will be with him will be remembered forever and priceless. That's so cool. Yeah. We never lived close enough for a season ticket thing, and I don't know if he would have wanted them for the Jets because he's a Cowboys fan. But yeah, that sounds awesome. So I'm jealous when I'm seeing all those guys, all those things out there. Plus, I cover the Jets, so it might be impossible to do the season tickets. Although hopefully one day I'm in a position where I'm either old and retired or something, or whenever that opportunity presents itself. That would be cool to observe the game again from the original. I'm still a fan now, and I don't hide it. Quite frankly, I embrace it, and people know it. And some people hate that I kind of meld the fan / writer media job I have to do together. Some people hate it, but it's just being honest. And if I wasn't being honest and being genuine, I think you guys would be able to sniff it out. So I like just being myself, and people are either going to love it or hate it. A lot of people hate it, to be honest, and that's fine. Different strokes, different folks. Plenty of other content creators out there if you don't like my vibe. A lot of great ones. Jake Asman, Matt O'Leary, Connor, New York Fight Jets Talk, talking to Adam Schefter, the 12-year-old superstar. He's out there. Dom C is his Project Prospect channel. We have Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. We have Jet Central. We have Buffalo Jet Fan. I'm sure I forgot somebody in there, but we're blessed. We got a lot of awesome people. A lot of awesome people covering this team, and we're lucky to have them. Jets Chaos. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. A lot of people deserve shout-outs. This regime hasn't gotten wide receiver right. Maybe they will eventually. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, mock draft chat thing. Yeah, someone invited me to a mock draft Jets NFL thing over the weekend. I'll let you guys know if I end up doing that. I will be streaming that, I suppose. Let's see. A lot of Lazard hate in here. I'm going to skip down a little bit. Nick jumps in, part of the Boy Green Superfan Club. Thanks, pal. I'm curious to see how the new kickoff rule plays into our game. Yeah. Are we going to see a Breece Hall kick returning? Are we going to see some sort of special guy? Like, I don't think it'll be Garrett Wilson, but maybe it is. I don't know. Like, will we see something crazy now that it's not about, and I heard Bill Belichick, who, audible boos from the crowd. Boo, boo. I heard him on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. And he's a special team savant, and he talks about special teams all the time. He talked about some of the differences with the kickoff rule, and he said that he believes, because we're not running down anymore. Like, I used to be a gunner on special teams on top of my other positions, and they wanted me to freaking as soon as that kicker foot pigskin, I'm bolting down as fast as I can to try to like lay out the guy as a gunner. And now that you're starting at a stagnant position, like it's like two battle lines in a war movie, but you're separated by like however many 10 yards, 15 yards or something. Speed quotient is getting less important. Size will go higher, is what Bill Belichick's assessment was, and I agree. Which will be interesting because if that return man breaks through the initial wave and it's mano a mano with Breece Hall and the kicker, with all due respect, I think Breece Hall's going to his house. So, yeah, but I'm curious to see if the Jets get a little funky and freaky with that and try to do something like that. That would be interesting to me. That'd be interesting to see if we do this. Gastineau, that's another good one. Very nice. Yeah, that was Connie's pick. Johnny says, let's do a watch party. Now, we'll have to... I'll have to get a sense of the fans for that. We'll have to do. I'll have to do a sense of the fans. I did one. I think last year was Will McDonald, right? Yeah. So last year, my work hired me basically to do a first round entire draft party where I hosted it with a comedian. And you guys may see that if you're new to the channel or old, you probably saw that. So I did do that. And that was okay. I'm going to be honest. It was cool to get all the draft experts on the show and things of that nature. It was all right. But I'm not doing that this year. But maybe at a bare minimum, I'll guarantee what I will do is draft reaction video immediately, or maybe camera on me for the pick and kind of like what's happening, and then I'll upload it immediately maybe. But articles, all that stuff, we'll be talking about all kinds of wonderful people, but maybe a watch party on draft day could happen. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if the fans are into it. Cause I did it a few years ago during the 2022 draft and I stopped it early. Cause I was just kind of like, I think it was 2022. I just kind of stopped it early. Cause I'm like, just kind of, I don't know. I felt weird just kind of, because I will tell you as a radio host who has to fill airtime, I feel compelled to talk, which is probably why I talk a million miles a minute, but I do that anyway, probably. I feel compelled to fill airtime because you don't want to leave silence. Although some people do very effectively. Jim Rome is and this is what I think about it. And then there's these pauses where you're like, is he still? Oh, okay, he's still on. Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, he's still on. So like I'm pre-programmed for that. So I don't like leaving it dead for people. I don't like leaving it dead for people. My dad says, get your ass up at 6 a.m. Yeah, or earlier than 6 a.m. So maybe I will have to do that. Warren Sapp, too soon, pal, too soon. Kyle Brady chants everywhere. Yeah. Thanks for that reminder, pal. Justin Davis with a astute observation on Twitter. The rhetoric that JD hasn't gotten the line together would be non-existent if folks stayed healthy. It's not for lack of trying. There's been all kinds of investments made, but it hasn't happened. All right, everyone's begging for call-ins. All right, I will put that in the YouTube real quick, and then we'll go for a few minutes here. Okay, let me put that on. I'll put in the call-in line for all you crazy bastards out there. Okay. Go. Video call in link. All right, we are doing that. I love that this has become a new part of the show. So thanks everybody for the support in these realms. So that call in link is now there. That message is now pinned. Again, if you're watching on either Facebook or Twitter, you have to jump over to youtube.com/boygreen25 to be able to call into the show. You just click the link, show me you're on camera, and you'll pop up in my little green room here. And once I can confirm that, we'll bring people on the show. So sure, the call-in lines are now open, people. Did OBJ sign with KC? Unless that happened overnight and I missed it. No, I don't believe so. He's gotten a contract offer from Miami, but the fact he hasn't done anything with it makes it seem that the offer isn't great. So TBD on that. But no, I don't believe so unless I missed something. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one right there, my father. Next week's episode of Inside Boy Green, that show, will be our annual sporting pilgrimage review. and I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, me and my father do we do something every year for like an event. I'll save more for him. Green Bean, obviously, and the shame is I love Green Bean. He's one of my OG guys. Our schedules are completely opposite, so I can never get him on the show, which is wildly disappointing. That sucks. And same thing for him. So, man, I want to get Green Bean on. It's long overdue. I love Green Bean. I love his story. I love what he brings to the community. I freaking love Green Bean. So hopefully our schedules can get back in sync because I would love him on this show, but he can't do mornings. Don't forget Nania. Right, Michael. I'll tell you. Yeah, shout out to Nania, who I don't think is ever joining this show. I'm going to be honest. But I read one of his articles that one of our fans tweeted at me. He said, "Hey, you should check this out." I'm like, "Oh, interesting." He had his own interesting take on the Peter Schrager mock, and I went, all right, tip of the cap, sir. Very nice. Not bad. So I gave him his flowers for that. Nick Shine, that's another one. I just joined his show recently. Nick Shine is kicking ass. He deserves a shout out. Yeah, see, like I said, I told you I was going to forget people. That's terrible. Let me just see. BMAC, yeah, he's a show. Hybrid Jets fan. Yeah, he deserves a shout out too. That's for sure. Strong hat game. That is true. Yes. I try to match it up with whatever I got. Yeah, I do love this. Apparently, this is old now, but yes. All right. I love it. You can run the draft and take callers for the first round. That's interesting. My father with that little. I had never. That's an interesting point. I had never done callers before recently. Okay, maybe we got something here. Maybe we do have something here. That could be something. I just got to make sure I keep muting the TV because you guys don't want to hear the blah, 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 but you also want to hear it as well. Yeah, so that's it as well. All right, we have a bunch of callers here, so I'll get back to the comment section at some point in the future. All right, let's go in order here. All right, we got NY Jets FL gracing us with his presence. What's up, buddy?
Paul, good morning. I have a public service announcement first.
Wow,
if you do have a pet,
okay.
Yeah, if you do have a pet such as this one, Winnie,
Oh,
that's my dog.
oh wow, what's the name you said?
Winnie.
Winnie. Oh, that's beautiful.
Winnie, Aussie Mini.
Okay.
Great dogs. Don't keep any gum with xylitol in it. Okay, xylitol is a artificial sweetener. And if they ingest too much of it, it could be hazardous. So
Jesus,
I just found that out today. Yeah, emergency. She was supposed to go to the emergency vet, but basically, if they eat the gum, they could get a reaction almost within an hour. So she ate it overnight, so she's all right.
Oh,
so
God. Jesus.
Yeah, just if you have gum in your house and you have pets,
yeah,
don't make it like Trident or some sugar-free gum because that's toxic to it's bad for the dogs somehow.
Oh,
regular gum, good old-fashioned gum is good. So
okay, I will keep that in mind. Thank you for that PSA, pal.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to put up with some dog crying. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
So I'm gonna pull over. Paul, are we a day closer to the draft or what?
Yes, we are. We are 7 days from the draft, and technically, I guess a little more than that because you got to go through the. I guess technically it starts at 8, but there's a whole ceremony of Goodell and this and that. So we're 7 days and at least 12 hours away, probably from the first pick, and they're going to make the Bears milk it. So yeah, probably 7 hours or 7 days and 12 hours. I would imagine from right this moment would be the start of the draft. Yes, sir.
Okay, how much? Are we any closer to who we're gonna pick? Because I don't know if I could. The daily insanity of absorbing information. How much more information can we absorb? At some point.
I have to say that I think in 2022, I think it was Rich City. It might have been on draft day. He released an episode of his podcast, Flight Deck. And he said, my sources are telling me like it's sauce. I'm like, whoa, that had been, at least for me, the first time I had heard of sauce jets like that strongly. And I went, holy shit. I was like, sauce, wow, okay. And that was I 3, 4, 5 o'clock somewhere in there is when he released it, something like that, draft day. So that one was the first time I had heard of the sauce thing. So, and shoot, what's that, 4 hours out from the draft? So wow. So we may be waiting. Bill Belichick on Pat McAfee said in his take, his history, that the information we hear out on social media starts getting real about 12 hours out from the draft. I went, wow, interesting. Okay. So that's when it gets
Yes.
more real.
Yep. Thinking about what my point was.
That's all right.
I'm starting to believe that this Brock Bowers stuff may be a huge smokescreen.
Wow.
I just how can every analyst come out with Brock Bowers? I don't know, man. It's just it seems like too much, right?
It
Seems like a little
definitely
too much.
does. Because when
So
I give certain people more credence, like Peter Schrager, he does a sourced mock draft. When he says it, I'm like, whoa, okay. Some of these other people are doing random mock drafts that we're just reacting to. That's one thing. But the sourced people, that's the only way they do mock drafts. Like DJ's one that comes out draft week, that one's going to raise my eyebrow of what he has them doing. But on his draft call yesterday, his gut says it's Brock Bowers right now, and he knows Jody really well. And then Todd McShay also knows him very well. And what did he say? He said, I don't see Brock Bowers happening at all, which means perhaps you're right. Massive smokescreen.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about the 12 hours. At this point, I want to see, like the Ricky NY mock draft with all the Florida State players in it. I want to see the BMAC draft with all the, whatever his team is. Could we have our own mock drafts, Paul? Maybe you should have, us amateurs come in with our top 10s or something like that, just to shake it up a little.
Yeah, I'm putting that down in my notes. It'll be a great episode for next week. Mock draft fans. I'm putting that
Got
in
to
there.
fill in some time with this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I appreciate you submitting to the content gods here and helping me out with the show prep. Very nice. I like that idea. We'll explore that for next week, pal. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. We have 7 callers here, so I'm going to try to get to you guys in the order that I can here. So we got 1 million callers in here. All right, let's go to my father joining us here on the program. What's up, father, from Atlanta?
Hey now, Boy Green. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes, I can.
All right. Well, you said a lot of nice things. I enjoyed doing the show, and I just wanted to come on and say that, a father's dream for their child is that they follow their dream, chase the dream, and watching you when I can every day or being part of your show, it's a huge honor. So that's all I had to say today. And tune in tomorrow for the drinking exploits of Boy Green.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Pop. Love you. Okay. I will just say in general that me being in this position, this is I think an important thing to say. That there were moments during my life where I thought I had to make a business decision. What I mean by that is, and it happened during COVID too. So COVID happens, and then all of a sudden, my normal jobs that are there are not there because of COVID. But I have to pay bills still. My rent doesn't disappear because COVID's going on. And I had to do a real job working at a gas station. And I was cranking 40 hours a week, more maybe. And I was just working. And there's been times in my life where I've had to make bets on myself. And the only reason I've been able to do that is because of my father. Because he could have told me, quit this stupid dream, just get a real job. My dad was in the Navy for 20 years. He retired for a day, and then he went into his next phase of his career in nuclear power. And he just retired again. Now he's in a new phase. I don't know. He's Brett Favre. That's basically what my father is. It's just Brett Favre. It's retire, not retire, retire, not retire, all this stuff going on there. And without his support and being able to tell me that I can attempt to go after something, I wouldn't be here doing this show right now or any of this Jet stuff. So it's all because of him. And saying that he gave me opportunities when I got out of college and living with him before I got my own apartment and things of that nature, that I would have had to do a real job, quote unquote, like a real job in the workplace. And I wouldn't have been able to pursue this career. So that wouldn't have been possible without my father. So shout out. Let's shout out to, if I had a drink by me, I would. I've got hand soap and some level of NyQuil and a half-eaten bag of peanut M&Ms to cheer, where I would raise one of those random items up. But I don't think that would have the same effect. That's neither here nor there, I suppose. All right, let's keep going on the phone lines. All right, we got Ricky in New York. It was always like your bat signal, your Florida State bat signal came out before you joined the show. What's up, brother?
what's happened, man. Just a quick side note. Like, yeah, I love my Florida State guys, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take a third round talent in the first round for the Jets. At the appropriate spot, yes. I think each of those prospects would be a good value for the Jets at the appropriate spot. However, I'm going to give you a sneak peek at my own mock draft, the 23rd annual Ricky New York Mockley Crew that I put out each year. And I'll run through my top 10 and give you a sneak peek at my top 10. Naturally, at the top, we got Caleb Daniels, May, Marvin Harrison, LA Chargers, Joe Alt, New York Giants, Malik Neighbors, Tennessee Titans, J.C. Latham, Atlanta, Dallas Turner, Chicago, which I do actually only source I have is a Chicago source. Oh, they're insufferable.
Hey, you just broke up in the middle. Just sorry to interrupt you, Ricky. You broke up in the middle of your Chicago pick. So, what did your Chicago source say?
Jared Verse.
Ooh, wow.
Jared Verse.
Okay. Yep.
And which leaves Roma Dunze for the New York Jets.
Oh, phenomenal. I think I know what I'm going to do next week. Who was that? Who just said the NY Jets FL, I think, was the one who floated out there. I think next week we'll pick a day somewhere before the draft, or maybe draft day. I don't know. We'll pick a day on one of the morning shows, and I will open up the call-in lines, and we will put your guys' picks. I will write them all down, keep track of them, and whenever we do a show, either that live draft day and do callers or whatever, we will get your final mock draft picks, and we'll line them all up and count them all up and say, all right, we had, 15 callers, and 5 picked Brock Bowers, 5 picked Odunze, 5 picked this, and we'll keep track of all that. That'll be fun. We will definitely do that for next week, so shout out to NY Jets FL. We'll do that. I love that. And then we'll all submit our final mocks, our final decisions, what we believe, predict what's going to happen. I like that. That's good.
One last thing real quick, and I'll go because I know other people are wanting to get on here and call in. But as far as the draft day steal, I don't know if this would count as a steal in the draft because he was undrafted, but Bryce Huff as a UDFA is a pretty damn good steal.
That's a great point. He 100% counts. I think anyone, if they hear their name called or don't, especially in that case, that's a true steal that they were able to get him there. Yeah, that is one we did not give love. It 100% deserves love. To have a double-digit sack pass rusher as a UDFA is unbelievable. A crazy success story. And, Adam Schefter tweeted out, Bryce Huff, for a non-quarterback, had the highest undrafted free agent contract in free agency history. Was Bryce Huff with his $51.1 million. So yeah, he deserves all the flowers for making his own career. So yes, great call.
That's a pretty good steal if you ask me.
That's for sure. Massive steal.
Too bad he didn't stick around. But all right, Paul, you have a great day. Happy birthday, man. Everybody, go Jets.
All right, there he is, Ricky New York, dropping the mic. Okay, baby, let's keep this rolling here. Okay, next on we have Avatal, baby, joining us here. What's up, brother?
Good morning, Paul. How are you? 2 quick comments, one NFL comment and one on the Jets. Throughout Jets streams, I keep hearing, why was Sam Laporta a second-round pick? Why was he a second-round pick? I am an Iowa fan, so I will speak on behalf of Sam Laporta.
Please do.
Watching Iowa for the last 3 years, their quarterback play was 10 times worse than Zach Wilson, okay? The only reason Sam Laporta fell into the second round is his talents were never fully utilized in Iowa, okay? If you put him in Georgia or you put him on Alabama or you put him on Michigan, he would have been a top 15 pick. I'm just going to say that right now.
Wow.
Sam Laporta had top 15 talent and went in the second round because he had to play with Spencer Petras, who, in my opinion, would be a great gas station owner, more so than a quarterback. Secondly, my hope for the Jets, as far as the draft is concerned, is to get a second-round wide receiver by any means necessary.
Ooh, okay.
Roman Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, Ladd McConkey, Malachi Corley. One of those 4 guys, if one of those 4 guys ends up as a Jet, then I will be satisfied. Okay.
Wow.
Any means necessary, whether it's trading back in the first round and securing a second round pick, or moving up to the second round and getting a second round pick. I would rather go the third tier wide receiver rather than taking a Brian Thomas Jr., who in my opinion would be a reach at 10. I would rather go and get a second round wide receiver and hopefully get a first round offensive tackle. That's my goal for the draft.
Ooh, I love it, to be honest. And because you could go either way. You could back it up, beep, 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 go that way, or be like, all right, F it. We got whatever we got, Bowers, I don't know, something or offensive tackle, at 10. And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, let's go. 72, third rounder next year. Who gives a flying hoot? Let's move up. And because somebody's going to slip into that top 50, top 55 range where you have like a 17 jump, a 20 plus jump, and you can get in there for that last run. When I've been running a few of these mock draft scenarios where the receivers are going, and again, it's a mock draft, but Pearsall, Roman, and who was it? Was it Ladd? Probably one in the 40s. But either way, those 2 or 3 were like 50, 51, 52, 51, 52, 53. Like they were right in that range. And for a 20 spot jump, if I'm the Jets, I'm exploring what is the price of that. Or to your point, if you just trade back, maybe you get one of those 40s seconds. But either way, that's spicy. I like it.
And finally, people say I'm so negative in a lot of these streams. I have to watch Zach Wilson and Spencer Petras on Saturdays and Sundays. I have a right to be pissed off every week. Okay. Thanks a lot, Paul. Love the talks with the dad. Okay. I love it. Absolutely. Okay. Have a great
brother.
Thursday.
All right. You too, pal. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it. I deserve to be pessimistic. Look at what I've had to deal with. Phenomenal. We got one more caller. He's one of the OGs, baby. Let's bring him in. Shades on, no games he's playing. Let's go. Johnny joining us here on the show. There you go. Oh, the old school draft hat. I've got that one back there. I've not worn that one in a while. I like that one. Very nice choice.
Yeah, man. I'm pissed off because my draft hat's not going to come till the 29th. So, dude, and they had the whole, if you get the hat by this day, you'll have it in 2 days. So I was like, I got it when it dropped off. When they dropped, I spent too much damn money, but it's cool.
Still, that pisses me off though, because Jet's cool. It was a cool 15 thing and the tax day thing and all this fun and games. That's BS for a lot of people, man. That you buy it as soon as you can, and there's a chance you don't get it for the draft. Come on, man. That you want to wear the hat that the Jets players are going to be wearing. There's a bunch of I saw the green room of the players are going to be at the draft. That sucks. So I have no idea if I'm going to get it or not. I don't know. My dad normally orders that every year, but come on, man. What are we doing?
Agree, man. And shout out to your pops, man, to Papa Esden, dude. I'll toast to him on that.
There you go. Yeah, you got something. You got something to cheers.
It's very similar to me and my pops, man. Because I used to, I was big in sports, man. It's a sports family in my with myself, and I thought I was gonna go far, and in my sport of choice, right? Let's just say I was 5'11", and I fought at 140, 145, no higher than that. And got in a car accident, headed into camp, and that was done, bro. It was over. Messed up my back and everything. And dude, it is one of the most mental hurdles to try to get over. You're gonna be able to do it again, blah blah blah. And Pop Dukes was the one. And my dad's not a emotional cat at all, but he was like, stop being a punk and get your shit together, and you'll be all right. It's what I needed, so that's dope that your dad very similar to my pops and all that, so shout that out. But anyways, let me start getting all emotional and shit on hey, but what I was talking about was the draft party, man. The draft watching the actual draft day as a watch party that day.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, that's what. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I wonder.
Get us all hyped up and everything. I think it'll be pretty dope. But
interesting. Yeah, let me put that idea down. I had never thought about that before. That's a good one. Okay,
dude, because I can do that. I really hope JD in his pocket has Mac no matter what. So, and I hope.
Yeah, right.
And I hope Jennifer Gardner is telling him the different analytics that he needs to have to make the salary cap work. Dude, my biggest thing with this draft coming up is as much as I'm not trying to worry about the future, I can't help but to worry about the future, right? Because after this year, right, we have a crap load of people to pay.
Yes.
Right. So to try to keep the core 4, the core 5, right, together and all that, how do you do that? Is by getting essentially the replacements for some of the other positions, right? I love DJ Reed. I don't want to get rid of DJ Reed, but can we get a corner to go ahead and replace him now, right, for that point? I mean, yeah, if anything, that Denver and Philly game showed us, right, that the scheme that we have now, what we play with would be able to go ahead and help us out. I want AVT, but then the whole argument is AVT going to stay healthy? Is he going to, get that type of thing? And then I would say, hell yeah. I mean, dude has done everything that we've asked him to the point where he's gotten injured because of it. Now, the injuries are freak injuries. So that's the other point of that, right? And
of course,
I mean, Garrett Wilson, you got Sauce.
Yeah.
So I know people don't want a defensive tackle with that pick, man, but I mean, not a defensive tackle, a defensive player.
Yeah.
But I mean, if JD goes ahead and does that, and it's for as the future, and because he believes that what we have right now is really an all-in play, I can't hate on it, man. So, dude, it's just, unless everybody thinks the salary cap is a fugazi, and then we're kind of, we'll go from there. I don't know, man. Like, I agree with Allen, and I tend not to agree with a lot of stuff with Allen. I'll be honest with you, right? But he's right. Like, get me an offensive tackle with the trade back scenario. And, bro, if we get Lab McConkey, man, with Aaron Rodgers, dude, golly, man, like, I don't try to curse as much. That's why I use, like, golly and all that stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah.
You gotta anyway. So yeah, dude. So it'll be a good, exciting time. I just need the draft to be here. Dude. I just can't do the draft combo anymore, man. It's killing me, literally. So
yeah.
But I appreciate you, man. And I know your birthday ain't until the 26th, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's that Friday. Yeah. Yeah, it's 9 days away. 9 days away, or what is it? 8 days away. My math is terrible. It's 8 days away. It's April 26th. That Friday. Yep.
April 26th. What I thought. Yeah. So, hey, happy early birthday, I guess, bro. I don't know, man.
Thank you.
So, appreciate you, dude. But we'll see you, man. Yeah, and the call-ins, dude, are dope, man. Like I said again, I take my kid to school and everything, so I got you blasting on the TV in the morning. But yo,
oh, that's awesome.
So check out Bobby Midnight calling the fan and talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi
that's
out
phenomenal.
of college. It is it is one of the funniest things. You can literally hear the host typing in, right? I can't find this Kenobi guy. Like, how do you spell it? And then Bobby's like, Kenobi with a K, out of college. What position does he play? Offense and defense. So he's a two-way guy? Yep, bro. It's the funniest crap.
I can't wait to look that up. I hope someone put that
dude.
out on Twitter. I'll find that. Thanks, Johnny. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, the Kenobi thing, again, that is just terrific. That's an inside joke on Jake Asman, if you guys don't know, which, again, a caller on Jake Asman, they had like a draft analyst on or something. They were like, bring up prospects you want us to talk about. And someone went Kenobi. They're like, Kenobi? Who the? And then just all, out of college. That was it. Infrared was right. Yeah, it's Kenobi out of college. What position? What this? And they're trying to figure it out and hem and hawed. And then the guy just leaves. It was one of the strangest calls I've ever seen, but it was hilarious. So as the story keeps going, that's terrific. All right, guys, I literally got to fly because I got, or not fly, but drive, but fly in the sense of it, because I got my radio show starting here momentarily in a little bit. So I got to jump in the car and drive over to Syracuse. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back live at 3 o'clock with Ryan Roberts, a draft expert. We're going to be looking at more of the players that we haven't been talking about, but the Jets have met with. We have over 600 people in the room live. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe down below, and show your support. The channel keeps growing. We appreciate you. And again, join the Boy Green Super Fan Club. That's how you can join in on the inside, be in the inner sanctum of the Boy Green, house of YouTube. Okay, so feel free to do that for a small fee every month. Again, free way is liking the video, hitting subscribe makes a huge difference. But if you want to go the extra mile, you want to be the teacher's pet, you want to sit up next to me in the classroom, feel free to do so. We appreciate you. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you at 3 o'clock in a handful of hours. Take care.